Now we're going to go to Marianne Comfort.
Hi. So what we've been talking about pretty much so far is when we're weighing in on legislation and asking Congress to, pass a bill. And then the next step is after a bill is passed, enacted, the federal agencies need to build rules around it. How is it going to be implemented? And by law, when they issue a regulation, they have to publish it, the draft proposal, they have to publish it publicly, and then have usually 60 to 90 days of public comment when people can weigh in about why they support or don't support a particular regulation. So we've invited you in two different kinds of public comment. Sometimes we have a partner like Interfaith Power and Light, and they are trying to collect as many signatures as possible on a comment for all kinds of people of faith. So we've done that when we are supporting the soot regulations and for regulations on carbon emissions from power plants. And Sisters of Mercy, we were able to add 300 or more than 300 signatures to that. So they very much value us participating in those campaigns. The other form of public comment we occasionally ask for is for your personal comment. And you'll find when we do those that rather than giving you the actual text like we do with emails, we give you talking points because with regulations, they need to be unique comments, not cut and paste copies of one another. So typically we give you some talking points and encourage you, just like Brother Ryan talked to us about phone calls, to add your own story, add your own concern. So it's a very similar thought process around thinking this is the issue and why are we in favor of or opposing a particular regulation. I think, Mike, you have some examples that we can show. So some of the things that people are usually asked to do is to use their professional or technical expertise. So we've had examples of sisters who submitted public comment on the soot regulations where they were talking about their background as nurses and what they've seen in a certain population about the impact of soot pollution on people in lower income communities that might be particularly prone to having pollution in their communities. We also have examples, and maybe we can share them with these later if we don't have them to show on the screen. But we do have also have examples where people have taken our talking points and just added an introduction. So in one case, Mike here submitted a public comment where he talked about he bought into community solar panels. And so he personally is trying to reduce his carbon. Oh, here we go. So yeah, why don't we go to a couple down where we have the examples. A couple more slides in. Yeah, one more, I think. So here's an example of a sister who submitted one from her personal experience in healthcare, where she's talking about why having stronger regulations on soot pollution is important from her personal experience of working with teenagers who lived in communities that were overburdened by pollution. The next one, we have Mike's example where he talks about his role of trying to reduce his own personal carbon emissions by buying into solar farm, and then kind of pivots from there about the importance of having lower emissions from power plants. So you can see he used his personal experience and then went into the larger issue. And then finally, we have a sister who just had an introduction, a very brief introduction that's her own and her personal concern. And then she just names the talking points we had about this is what we're hoping about a rule on having stronger regulations on carbon emissions from power plants. So just wanted to share these examples, and we can share them with you via email after this program so you can get a sense of basically it's using our talking points and adding your own personal experience or your personal story, just like we do with the phone calls. So very similar thought process of developing either the script for phone call or our public comment.